Well, hello. Today I'm joined by Dr. Sara Stolberg-Berkowicz in what I hope is the first of many ongoing discussions that allow for our college faculty to highlight some of the innovative and creative things that they're working on. And so, Dr. Sara, I want to personally thank you for agreeing to do this and for being the first faculty member to sit and have this discussion. So thank you so much.
I'm excited to be here for what I've learned.
Great, thank you. My first question is if you could just tell us a little bit about your background and how long you've been with the college.
Sure. I'm a longtime financial planner. Been doing this for most of my adult life. And as a practitioner, I decided that I would like to get my PhD in financial planning because I love financial planning so much. Excuse me. So I got my PhD in financial planning from Kansas State. And as I was deciding what to do, this position came up at the college, and I joined academia about 4.5 years ago. So been with the college for that long, and I have been chair of the advisor development department for a couple of years now.
Okay, great, thank you. My next question, I know that you, as all faculty are, engaged in so many exciting ways to advance the college and the field of financial planning as a whole, but what is the one thing you're here to talk about today?
So recently I attended the Financial Therapy Association's annual conference. It was held in San Diego. They've been doing this for years. This was about the 8th or 9th, maybe 10th that they've ever had. So I'm here to talk about my takeaways from that conference. I first went in 2016, but haven't been since then. So I really have at least some basis of comparison from that past one to this one, and then what I've learned that I can carry forward.
So you mentioned you had some takeaways. What do you find the most important or impactful in your work at the college?
It's interesting. This group's been around for a while, not tremendously long, but at least 10 years, 15 years, I think. And it's interesting to see an organization grow. The college has been around for a lot longer, and they grow in different ways. So it's always interesting to see how these different groups grow. But I think that the bigger takeaways related to different sessions I went to. So one was a particular breakout section, and the other was the general way that the conference was organized. So the breakout session I went to that I found was the most valuable was on the KMSI manuscripts inventory. Now, this is important to me in my department because we teach behavioral finance and financial psychology, those kinds of things in my department. Those courses reside there. So this is a big interest of mine for a long time, even before I joined the college, and has continued while I've been here. And it's also a growing area, I think, of interest for many financial advisors, certainly as evidenced by the CFP board emphasizing client psychology in their required elements to pass the exam and in the books that they put out and so on. So they reference this, the Klontz manuscripts inventory. So this academic named Brad Klontz, he created this idea that we develop in childhood these ideas about money, which become little subconscious guidelines for how we behave in our adult lives about money. So some examples, like we listen to our parents as children, and that's fine, but we also learn from what our parents do, how they behave, and actions speak louder than words. And that definitely happens when it comes to psychology. So Typical money scripts might be money is bad, money is evil, or things will get better if I have more money. Might be that rich people are greedy. It could be that I don't deserve money. I should just get rid of it. I shouldn't emphasize it in my life. There are different ways of thinking about money, and these guide our behaviors, as I say, in our adult life. So it's important for financial advisors to learn about these because it explains why our clients behave the way that they do. Now, the questions that you would ask your clients, and then they would come up with a sort of a characterization of their money scripts that you can help them with it. So these were tested mainly on white middle class, or at least wealthier college students, basically younger folks and people with assets and white people. So this group of academics has decided to challenge the money scripts inventory, and they did a study to see if it held up, if the same questions were asked to a group of people whose racial and ethnic background matched the US Census. So it would be representative of the US population. And sure enough, as you might imagine, the survey didn't quite hold up. There were times that it really didn't apply to people of different ethnic groups. Gender seemed fine. When they controlled for gender, that was fine. So then the session divided us up into groups, and we tried to come up with our own new money scripts. And they were fascinating. They were things like, because they were coming from everybody's different cultures. It was a very diverse group of people attending this session. And the new money scripts ideas were things like, people have children, so they have someone to support them in their old age. Or I should forgo all my own spending or saving for retirement so I can invest in my children and their education. Women shouldn't work. They should only stay in the home and take care of the children. I mean, really different kinds of money scripts than are in this kind of general framework. So that was really interesting. And we will definitely be using those kinds of advancement. We'll keep an eye on it in my department. We'll look at the papers that are coming out, and we will add these to the courses that we teach. So the students have a more balanced understanding of how this works in general, and more specifically, how it's developing in the field. Because we at the college, we emphasize that our students and will be serving diverse clientele. And we really can use this as an example of how we are helping our students understand the diverse society that we live in. The other interesting activity was that the conference was organized in their more general sessions around a case study project. So they wrote up a really great, in-depth, really meaty, juicy family story where someone with a financial therapy background would come in and work with these clients. So first, I should probably explain what financial therapy is. The idea is that financial professionals generally lack mental health training, and mental health counselors generally lack financial training. And yet, most of our clients have issues that involve both kinds of competencies. So you could deal with a problem like pathological spending or pathological gambling or inability to follow through on investment recommendations or hoarding. There's many different ways, many different problems our clients may have that if a financial professional had more psychological training, or they knew when to refer out, or they could work in tandem with a mental health professional, that our clients would have better outcomes. So the idea is get these folks together and they can work together. So we worked on this case study in groups, and we looked at it from the financial professional's point of view. What could they contribute? What would they need from other professionals? And the same for the other groups. And also they even asked about bias. What bias might you have as a professional? So I thought this would be a great idea to roll out at the college, perhaps as some sort of a continuing ed course that we can offer. You'd be able to get a lot of hours out of it because you could meet over and over with your group and really get in depth with a cohort of fellow financial advisors. And it goes toward the peer-to-peer learning. There's really several ways that this might help our students, both from a community standpoint, develop relationships and networking and develop their skills as financial planners. Again, I'm in the advisor development department, so it really aligns very closely with the mission of my department. So those are my takeaways.
Right. I think you've spoken to this in a couple of ways, but maybe just reiterate any specifics. How do you see this positively impacting the student learning experience and contributing to growing the college's learning community?
Well, I think these takeaways, when I implement them in terms of, as I say, adding to the courses, updating our content, which means then perhaps I might have to update some of the assessments, adding these to our communities, which is our outreach to our students. They will definitely help students be more up to date and help them develop better skills in dealing with their clients.
Thank you. How can others benefit from comparable professional development opportunities moving forward?
I would say to have an open mind when you go to a conference, not just what might be of interest now, but what might be of interest in the future. Try to have an entrepreneurial mindset as if you're developing your own expertise or your department's expertise into a business, and how you might impact more and more people or impact them more significantly.
Thank you. And then do you have any other advice for faculty colleagues as they plan their own professional development for the upcoming academic year?
I would say keep your eyes open. I only would come in contact with this group if I didn't know about it, I wouldn't necessarily know to look for it. So try to see if others share your interest in something and see if there's a conference about that. See what it is where you might find some like-minded folks, or maybe somebody who doesn't share your opinion but might have something different to offer. So maybe there's a group if you want to develop your research skills. Maybe there's a college that offers a summer institute in, I don't know, statistics and research methods. You can definitely find those. Hence what you're looking for, what you think is either something you'd like to learn more about or something where you find there's a lack and you're interested in filling a gap.
Thank you. So in closing, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share?
If you have any questions about financial therapy, client psychology, the whole behavioral finance thing, or perhaps how you might find, if you're looking for some mentorship in terms of where you might find something interesting to do, happy to help. Just reach out. Happy to do whatever I can to help my fellow faculty.
Right. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you taking the time and again, being the first to be willing to start us on this journey. So thank you so very much. Appreciate it.